Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and to hang out with all of you and chat about a bunch of different things, including anime. I'm going to throw the Bear Cave Lego, the site, the moat in the chat. If you're currently a subscriber to the Bear Cave, you can reply with the Lego or the Bear Cave emote, the site, the moat if you're a tier 2 or tier 3 subscriber. Lashbrook is here. Hi, Lashbrook. If you're not a subscriber, you can just say hi. That's cool. You also don't have to say anything at all. You don't have to engage in chat. You can just let this all wash over you and enjoy yourselves. Jam is here as well. Hello, Jam. Welcome, welcome. Happy to have y'all here. This is the intro portion of the stream. If you're new, we are just going to be in the hangout zone here, where I have the small little window, but a big pat compared to the overhead. You know what's going on. Working on that Zaku II. Working on the real grade of Johnny Raiden's Zaku II. A good Thursday night. Twitch Sing stream last night went okay. I wish more people had watched, but that's always the case. I'd always love to have more and more people come and hang out and see what we do. But that went well. Sang some songs, had some good times. My voice isn't shot today, which is nice. It's not 100%. I don't sing that often these days, so I don't have a lot of and some days I don't talk out loud that much. Today I talked a little bit, but not too much. So, it's a weird thing. Mr. Bob is here. Hey, Mr. Bob, welcome, welcome. Happy to have you here as always. You're trying out a new HOTAS. Ooh, sick. I've owned joysticks. I've owned P2, PS2 joysticks, and then also USB joysticks over the years. I've had a few of them here and there. I've never gone with the throttle or pedals, or I've never owned a racing wheel because I don't particularly play those games. For that matter, I'm not much of a flight sim person myself. No disrespect to anybody that is, of course. You do you. You enjoy you. But I'm not particularly into those types of games, so it's never been on the agenda. I have, however, owned upwards of 3 different DDR pads. 4 different DDR pads over the years. That's my peripheral of choice. Is PlayStation DDR pads, and with an adapter for USB later, a native USB DDR pads, that kind of thing over the years. Pat, it's been a 15-year break. Mr. Bob, there's never been a better time to get back into having a bunch of peripherals on your desk that you have to clamp down so they don't fall over the place, so that you can fly your planes properly. There's never been a better time for that. And I mean that. That's not just a joke. But that rules. I hope you enjoy. Now I'm just thinking about combining 4 DDR pads into a Mega DDR. Indeed. This is a PlayStation branded HOTAS. Mr. Bob, that's news to me. I didn't know they made one of those. That's weird. Hey, if you were like Pat, what did you do on Monday with the Zaku 2? Well, we finished the other leg and we built the waist, and then we built the arm. We got to put a shield on this arm. Oh, that's my favorite. One of my 2 favorite parts of a Zaku is the shield on one side, the stuck to the shoulder shield, classic, and the other side is the spiked shoulder thing. Because it was like, well, we don't want to put a shield on both sides, so we'll put spikes on that one. Love it. Always a big fan. Always thought that was just a great, great thing. Last person is getting ready for Squadrons. Ooh, that's true. I thought this was a flight sim purchase, but if that is a Squadrons purchase, that's also pretty cool. But yeah, my head went to the old flight sim stuff. But yeah, those are both cool options, and I hope you have a good time with it, because they're neat. They're just neat things, right? Like, what am I going to say? They're fun. They're fun to play around with. Like I said, they're not my jam. I've never owned 2 DDR pads at once. So I've never had like the double DDR pad where you can go from one to the other. I've just had the crummiest DDR pad I ever had in my life. A very good DDR pad. a DDR pad that came with a, a Nintendo system. It was a Disney game, and it came with the DDR pad, and I can't remember for what system. I want to say it was for the GameCube. And then not so long ago, I got back into Stepmania, which is the not. It is a way to play DDR games. It is a open-ish source platform for the PC or Mac that allows you to create your own stems for your own dance songs that are very similar to DDR. And it just so happens that if you were someone that, I don't know, ripped the songs out and made your own bass that were identical to DDR songs, you could also load those in a folder and just play them on Stepmania. I got that, so I got a native USB DDR pad that was okay. My second pad was the best one. That one was had metal in it and was heavy as hell and did not fold, so it was a nightmare. I sold that to someone for, I think, like double the price. I want to say. How good are farm animals at DDR? That is a reference I don't get, Lashbrook, and I apologize for not getting that reference. My coworker bought the arcade DDR machine for her farm. That's what the reference was. It was right up there. Lashbrook, I thought you were making a reference that I didn't get. In fact, you were just making reference to what Mr. Bob had written, which I didn't read. That's on me. We're going to get building in a minute. That's what we do here. I build model kits and Lego sets and hang out with y'all and talk. But I like the idea of like, well, I'm at a farm. I might as well have a cool DDR machine. I hope it was an Ace or third mix. Look, I'm old. I'm a 40-year-old person. So when I tell you that my favorite DDR is probably third mix, which also included second mix, that's because it was my first real DDR experience. Ace is definitely the best one because it has so many songs and it's networked and it's a great collection. Max is good. The first Max is also very good. But third mix is a special place in my heart. I also like the Disney one that I think is only for PlayStation and Xbox. That's also very good. I'm going to hit time to here. We're writing time to build here. Talking about stuff. All right, let's get to building. We'll start off this stream by saying, look, am I excited about anything new coming out of Ubisoft? No. Ubisoft did another thing today. I'm not excited about anything that they're putting out that's new. Am I excited about the re-release of Scott Pilgrim? I am excited about that. I very much enjoyed Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I thought that was a very fun River City Ransom-like. And I thought that, they did a very good job with that. I do have some biases, as I am friends with Pete from Anamanaguchi, who did the soundtrack. And I think that that soundtrack fucking rules, and I think the game is really fun. And mostly, now, the band Anamanaguchi has a soundtrack for a game that is coming out on a Nintendo platform. Nintendo's YouTube channel put out the trailer for Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the Ultimate Collection, or whatever it's called. And that's incredible. Guys that started out with a Game Boy and an NES emulated to play with music on it, to do chiptune and then add instruments over it, are going to have their music on a game on a Nintendo console. And that just makes me really happy because those dudes are great dudes. Yeah, as mentioned, Anamanaguchi are some great fellows. They are. I know Pete the best of all of them. The fun little story of that is that years ago, I said something about like, oh, I'm going to play some of the new Anamanaguchi at UCB. And then Pete replied from the Anamanaguchi account, hey, I know your voice. You announce shows at UCB. I go, we're all in New York. You're going to play some of our songs there? That's so cool. And I was like, oh, well, you're so cool. And it was just a little nice little, mutual appreciation society. They had some mutual friends with some of my friends. It was very nice to meet Pete and see him. And I think those guys are just swell. But yeah, we definitely have some mutual friends, and it was nice to just like have a moment to be like, hey, y'all are great. Um, Got to see them in Orlando a few years back at the cost of the Austin Power trilogy on a USB drive. Okay, that's a good deal. Uh, I forgot this post here from Lashbrook that your college had a DDR machine, but it was pretty public place, and my shame kept me from ever flailing around on it. So the reason why I got a DDR machine, I got a DDR pad a couple years ago with Stepmania, was because there was an arcade in New York at the time. There's a Dave and Buster's in New York, and I went there, and they open at like 10 a.m., and I was busy. And so I stopped in later with a friend, and they were like, oh, let's do some DDR. And we did a couple dances, and I didn't realize what time it was because school let out. Oh, hello, welcome. Welcome, Zero. Welcome. We're going to start working on our other arm. So I didn't realize that school had let out. And so all of a sudden, I'm, in my late 30s with a friend who's of an age. Yes, this is Johnny Rodden's Zaku II, real great. It's a fantastic kit. We're working on the other arm right now. Anyway, so we arrive. So all of a sudden, teenagers show up. And then I felt very old. And so I, that day, bought a DDR pad. And I was like, well, if I want to get back into this, it's not going to be at this one arcade. I'm going to get myself a DDR pad. I'm glad I put it in storage and didn't bring it with me because that would have been a weird thing to do, to bring it down here. But I also wish I had brought it because I'm in a house right now and not the third story of a house, and it would have been very cool to have the ability to, actually use it. That would have been nice to actually use those pads. Because what I ended up doing was taking them with me, taking the pad, folding it up, bringing it with me to work when I knew no one was going to be around and doing it there. And that's just not the same, just time. How's quarantine going? Well, so folks that have been here a lot know, but for folks that don't, I had to leave New York because everything is bad. And my industry that I work in, well, first of all, I was unemployed for quite a while there, and I was underemployed, I should say. I had some gigs, but they weren't adding up to like a lot. And then that all dried up because you can't do live theater. And so I left New York, and I'm with my folks right now in South Carolina, and I've adjusted pretty well. This is not what I was hoping to be doing in 2020. Even down to the fact that, forget all of the opportunities of things that I wasn't gonna do, that I thought I'd be able to do that I can't do. New York Comic Con's not happening. I was going to work New York Comic Con for Crunchyroll and work their booth. Anime NYC has not been canceled yet, but it will be. And I was going to work that too. And that's a shame. Also, I am thrilled to be able to spend time with my folks, but it's weird. It's all a weird thing. I've still done some cool shit this year, but Crunchyroll, yes, the fine folks at Crunchyroll.com, the purveyors of anime subscriptions, they stream anime. And they also have they were going to have a booth at New York Comic Con. I worked for them last year at Anime NYC, and was planning and was scheduled to work for them this year, just working their booth, just doing stuff. The events team there are a great group of folks. I know from a bunch of other things. Uh, so there's the thought that they may be purchased or their parent company may be purchased. I think that is the hot water that they're in at the moment. Uh, but nobody really knows. Things want everybody wants to consolidate. Um, and when I mean, just talking about consolidation, should say, um, Viz, who has their own streaming service, kind of, but not really. Viz just made a deal with Funimation to slowly add all their catalog to Funimation and kind of really pare down their streaming because it just didn't work. Yeah, AT&T needs to offload a lot of debt. Yeah, so my hope is that it's not Crunchyroll. Look, uh, if Sony ends up with Crunchyroll and Funimation, it's possible we could get the great handshake that we had before, where if you had one of them, you had access to the other, and I wouldn't have to pay for both. But also, who the fuck knows? Um, oh, I missed Pat. The new HOTAS is better than the garbage HOTAS that was found in the garbage. Northern Virginia garbage is still the best. Okay, Northern Virginia garbage is the best. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I hope everything's okay. I have plenty of friends who work at Crunchyroll, some of whom have hired me to do things, and I hope that everything's cool there. Speaking of Crunchyroll, Sony bought Funimation a while back. That is why the deal between Funimation and Crunchyroll had a deal there for like 2 years, 2.5 years, where they started sharing their libraries online, and you could on Crunchyroll you could watch like Yu Yu Hakusho, or on Funimation you could watch like the some Dragon Ball stuff that you couldn't get there, and a bunch of other originals on Crunchyroll you could just watch on that. Um, uh, and then that partnership ended because Sony bought Funimation, and then didn't want that partnership to happen anymore, which makes sense. But yeah, so Sony owns Funimation, and AT&T owns the parent company that owns Crunchyroll. Uh, Speaking of Crunchyroll, if you are looking, like, I don't know why you would need a new podcast to listen to, but maybe you go out and you want to listen to new podcasts. It's a limited series run, 8 episodes with a bonus episode, like 3 point whatever. But Crunchyroll put out Made in America, Anime in America. It's play on Made in America. Anime in America is a podcast. Travis hosts it. Um, and it is a podcast talking about different aspects of the emergence of anime, the rise and fall, looking at like, oh, when Borders went out. But then also, well, why did the DVD market crash? Well, part of it is because the CD stores crashed. Like, oh, and this connects to this, and this connects to that, and looking at like some of the first. There's a lot about conventions, and specifically talking about how some of them came about and some of the societies that started, groups that started the first conventions. It's a really fascinating series. He does some great interviews in there, tells the story, and is like a really funny and cool dude. You may know him from the former Federator channel Getting the Robot, which is hopefully coming back soon. They have been raising funds on Patreon to come back as Beyond the Bot. But Getting the Robot is still up. The page is up. They're just not going to be doing anything new, unfortunately, because they decided not to keep funding it. But that's a great YouTube. Great essays from a lot of people, and particularly necessary stuff that doesn't really get covered in your more mainstream. It's weird to say mainstream anime publications, but like they're going to culturally look at things differently than, say, Anime News Network is going to look at things. They may cover some of the same stuff, but they're going to probably handle it in a bit of a different way. Because they're different people. So but yeah, that's a cool podcast. I recommend it. Anime in America, if you're looking for something cool to check out. You know, it's only, like I said, it's actually 9 episodes, but one of them is a supplemental. It's basically like they did an episode about conventions, and they were like, we probably need to talk about conventions in 2020 because when we recorded this, we didn't know there were only going to be like 4 major anime conventions, and all the rest would go digital. It's funny to think about that Funimation did a convention this year because it was digital. They're like, well, we probably were going to do, Funimation Con at some point, but if all conventions are digital, we could definitely do that. And the same thing with uh, Bandai Namco, like Bluefin kind of did their own oh yeah, we can do our own convention thing, which is just really wasn't a convention so much. It was just a lot of announcements and some live streams. It wasn't technically a convention. Speaking of which, I am part of a convention that is happening. PAX Online is happening starting this weekend. My panel is on Sunday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern Time. If you are interested in checking that out, it'll be at twitch.tv/PAX2, or I'll be hosting it on this channel. So I'm just going to host it. I'll be in the chat. I'm also, a thing they're doing is, because they're done ahead of time, or they're, set up ahead of time, there's going to be a Discord, and I will be chatting in the Discord while the panel happens because it was pre-recorded. So I'll be basically chatting in the Discord and also keeping an eye on this chat because I don't know if people are going to hang out in the Discord and ask me questions. I don't know how that's going to work, so I figured I'd do that. And I thought that would be a fun little thing to do. But mostly, I want to chat with my friends here on this stream as we watch myself and Corey Dickinson and Beach Dairy from Loading Ready Run talk about anime, yelling about the shows we love. That'll be kind of fun. I again continue to be the anime content at PAX. I should have been doing this panel years ago. But that is my biggest regret is that I waited so long to do an anime panel because I was like, well, they're not going to want me to do this. They definitely do. They just want cool entertainment. Yeah, I'm always like, I should have done this years ago because it's just a fun panel and doesn't require a lot of work to do, which most of my panels require just so much damn work. To have one that doesn't require that much is such a godsend. Do your research, but the PS4 Ace Combat HOTAS, this is Mr. Bob saying, feels real good on Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. It says it's on sale at Best Buy. That is cool to hear. Thank you for that. Appreciate letting us know. I'm definitely not in the market for a HOTAS, but I'm sure someone might be, and that's cool to know. Going back, I just want to say real briefly, I'm not there. There was nothing about the Ubisoft thing today that was like, yeah. But a thing that did excite me, I pre-ordered Jackbox Party Pack number. What number is it? Oh, why is this not connecting? Sorry, y'all. This is just not connecting, and I need to. I picked up Jackbox Party Pack number 7 pre-order. It's coming out in October 15th, I believe. And so I picked that up, and that'll be something we play in there. And it was, I got it on Steam for 10% off. And I don't pre-order things, but look, I'm going to get it. There's a new Quiplash. I'm going to get this. There's some game that involves talking a lot. Okay, yes. I'm going to check. I'm they're saying things that I want to hear. I'm going to try these games. I know I will. I really like Jackbox games, so it made sense to me to pre-order the fun Jackbox thing. 23 and 23, great. Come there. There is a stick shortage, and I can't believe I got this. Let's say I'm 20% of the way to winning the Nickelodeon Toys R Us Toy Rush feeling. All right, Mr. Bob. Yeah, I mean, I could look. I feel like even with that game coming out, people who make those kind of peripherals are probably not like shipping a lot of them out. I'm sure that there are places that aren't overstocked them. Like they knew that people were going to be getting them, but I bet 2020 kind of put a damper on the whole like any kind of peripheral as it is an industry thing. I'm making an assumption here based on just like thinking about the world that perhaps people were like, yeah, let's make less of these this year. Because, people were hyped for that game, but, who knows? Maybe they thought they weren't going to get some people that don't buy a lot of games but like flight sims. Maybe they were afraid people weren't going to find out about it. I don't know. They did not. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, also, just buying stuff in stores, people are, like, just nervous about that shit. Just nervous about sending things out and shipping things and having stock and all that. But because of this conversation, I'm trying to take another stab at getting my X56 to work. Time to download a zip file that will edit my registry. Okay, all right. Well, Lashbrook, good luck with that. $20 Logic controller for $150. Yeah. People gotta overcharge you and make their money. Look, they shouldn't, but they're gonna. They don't gotta. They're gonna is what I should have said there. People are gonna be like, oh, yeah, you want this thing that we were having trouble selling 6 months ago? Cool. Give us way too much money for it. No, you won't? All right, well, we'll just wait because somebody will. Or we'll drop it $20 in 4 months and still make a lot more money than we thought we would. Sometimes that bet does not pay off, but sometimes it certainly does. I guess if I was a dishonest betting man, I would have hoarded I would have hoarded a bunch of these HOTAS and sticks. Sold them all on eBay. But let's talk about the feeling. It's so good. It's like cutting a good ham. Is that I wish I could cut ham and fly to an airplane at the same time. Look, I get that. I get that great sim feeling. That feeling. Sometimes it's just like that sim, good simulation. But sometimes it's also like that feeling of like just like playing a game that you. Isn't it nice when you're really hyped about something and it turns out to be good? Or maybe it's better than you even imagined. Like obviously getting overhyped is rough and sometimes it does often leads to disappointment, but every once in a while you're really excited about a thing and then it turns out the thing you're excited about is good. And it's like, holy shit, this is what the thing I like is. It makes sense for me to like it. Oh, hell yeah. I have never in my life understood the people who get mad that other people like things that you like. Now, if they come in and they're damaging and they're shit bags, of course. Like, I'm never here for shit bags. I'm never here for people who are going to be awful and that. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about general, like, I like this thing, and other people are like, hey, what's that thing? And they're like, oh, cool. I could be into that. I love it so much. So yeah, when people are like into a thing, and you're into that thing, and the thing is good, and you're like, oh man, the thing I like is good right now. It's so fun. Oh, that's so nice. This is a lovely feeling. I'm always a champion of that. Of just like having those moments where you're just getting to do something that you just think is really neat and other people are into it too. You're just having that euphoria of just like, yeah. And, you know, sometimes it's video games, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's like other things that you're just like, I'm having a great time right now, just living my life. That is just lucky. You can be lucky to have that. It's not all the time. We don't always get that. All right, I got to get this on here right, figure out where this goes. I did this right on the other one, so hopefully I'll do it right here. Okay. So let's see. This is going to go like this. And then this is going to go here. Yeah, like I said, I already did one of these arms, so you would hope. I feel like there's a fine line between being critical and being an asshole, and most people don't know how to walk that line. Oh, Lastbrook should have made a restore point. Yeah, Lastbrook, when you're going to edit your registries, you might want to make restore points before you start going there. But good luck. The graphics are not what they promised, but the feel is good. I have not been to many photo or real cities. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, did they overpromise? I'm sure they did. I'm sure they definitely did. Yes, but being critical and being an asshole. So, at the same, it is a double-edged thing there, Brozard, where some people do mistake being critical with being an asshole, and then sometimes people mistake being critical with not liking things and being a hater. Like when people talk about things that they love but they wish could be better or should be better, they often other folks are like, well, if you don't like it, don't watch it. And it's like, that's not what I'm saying. I do like it. I just wish that, like, I wish that it could be more, or it could fulfill its potential, or it could do right by some of its people, or the process is doing. I want more from it because I like it. If I didn't like it, I would ignore it. And you know, and I think that some people see that as like, it's like, oh, well, if you're just going to be a hater, and it's like, that's not what that being a hater is. Being a hater is like, I don't like this thing for no good reason, and I am going to choose to engage in false, like, completely, like, unnecessary hate on something for reasons that have nothing to do with the thing itself. It's like non-critical. I dislike this for a reason that I can't identify other than this is a thing I've chosen not to like. And that's very different than, I wish this thing was better in this way. I think this is awesome for these reasons, and it falls apart in this way, and that's a shame. I think you're supposed to not look too hard at the bits they didn't handcraft the graphics for. My problem is I can only run the games on low, so it always looks bad. Yeah, I mean, Lastbrook, that's going to be a problem if you can only run it on the lowest settings. You're not getting the full experience. Yeah, that's going to happen. Hopefully you'll be able to still enjoy it on the low. But yeah. Yeah, this seems like a real beat. Like, this seems like the first, like, real, like, thing where you're like, you have to, you might have to upgrade your computer for this one. And it's been a while since we had a PC game that was like, hey, you might have to upgrade for this thing. This thing might be worth upgrading for. Like, I feel like that's been a while since we've had that. Had a game that does that. And that's, I don't know, that's its own kind of cool. It's obviously not the best if you're trying to play it and you're like, I cannot afford a better computer or an upgrade of my graphics card or anything like that. Like, I understand it can be a bummer, but it's also kind of neat to be like, I don't know, I feel like ray tracing is cool, but ray tracing didn't sell people on upgrading their computers outside of the folks that were going to upgrade no matter what and always upgrade. But people that were like, I might upgrade this year, were like, ray tracing on the games that I already played, meh, I'm okay. But now it's like, well, games are going to come out that might not work the way you would like them to, unless you have some good shit. And that might be a selling point for people. Honestly, I have upgrades planned because of MS Flight Sim at some point. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? Because you're playing it and you like it, but you're like, what if my computer was beefier and I could like this even more, right? Yeah, you're just getting sold on the possibilities because you already know what it's capable of on your machine there. But if you had a better machine, work even better. I don't know. I would talk about this stuff. I'm not upgrading anytime soon. Nothing I play right now is being an issue with my computer because I don't play a lot of powerhouse stuff. Processing, video editing, I do quite a some video editing, but I don't do anything heavy video editing. That's been fine on here. My limitation in this space is the Wi-Fi and the amount of upload that the internet has here. Our internet upload speeds being so low that I can't do a lot of the stuff I'd like to do with uploading. I record this my local archive here at a lower quality than I used to because otherwise it takes hours to upload a hour and 50-minute video instead of like 40 minutes in the processing. Instead, it takes like 2 hours, and I'm just not going to do that. So I wish I could upload better quality video for my archives, but I don't because it just doesn't work right. It doesn't look right. Or does just takes too long. It takes too long for a thing that like 15 people are going to watch, you know? I uploaded my panel. The panel I uploaded onto YouTube. I uploaded it at a higher, I recorded it better quality because that, I'm like, well, that actually people might see. So, more than the other videos I do. I wonder how PC ports of next gen's games designed to take advantage of these fancy new ultra-fast hard drives will work. Yeah, I don't know. You might have to get some fancy hard drives. Hey, Pat, I think I know your specs and your PC is the problem Intel and NVIDIA have with the current industry, and you should celebrate it. Okay. I mean, look, like I said, right now I am using 15% of my CPU capacity for what I'm doing here, and that's great, and I have no qualms and no issues with that. Like I said, my actual PC issues are upload speed, and that will be solved by my folks have been thinking about switching internet providers, and I have been pro that. It is their decision and not mine, so I have not been pushy about it, but I have been, yeah, no, Mr. Bob, yeah, I'm definitely not looking to upgrade because, like, Yakuza 7 Like a Dragon is still going to run here on medium specs because it's not the latest and greatest game. So, like, that port is still going to run pretty dang well on this, and, like, that's the game coming out that, like, has the highest specs, and it definitely doesn't have the highest specs. And that port should run just fine. But, like, to me, I'm like, well, that's what I've got. Like, that's what I've got coming up is that. So it's like, okay, I think that's going to run just fine. All right, let's work on our spiked shoulder here. I built a PC because I'm addicted to the build process. Yeah, I really enjoyed the last PC build I did because I've done 5 or 10 in my 7 maybe, yeah, somewhere between 5 and 10 builds. This last one, which is this machine here, was the easiest build I've done, I think, ever. It was really smooth sailing. I think like I had forgotten to towards the end, I forgotten to plug a couple things in, which was embarrassing. But it went well. I will say this machine that I built here was the easiest I've ever had at with my CPU. CPU, like adding CPU stuff has been, or adding in the CPU has dramatically gotten easier since my last build. I was just like, Oh, this is lovely. So easy and nice. But I did help a friend build a PC like in January, and that was fun to like work with some stuff I hadn't worked with, and it was a pretty beefy PC. He like got a lot of parts. He mostly built a machine that like a tech YouTuber had recommended, um, and it was pretty great to work on some stuff. Uh, if anyone needed either a small boat, I'd rather do that, but I don't have the facilities. Okay, yeah, I understand. I understand, Mr. Bob. Yeah. Yeah, I can't do any woodworking right now. I mean, I could do minor woodworking. My dad does have a workbench and some tools. So if the project came up that I would want to work on, I could. Um, that would be really fun. I could just put some lights in there. Harold is now hosting the stream. Thank you, Harold. Appreciate that, my friend. I could go and I could set up in the garage my dad's workbench and do some projects there. Run off my laptop. That could be fun. Um, Wi-Fi works in there. I don't expect to do that. I have a series of block planes, but I don't have a solid level pad. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, for me, it's just like I don't think that's going to be a thing that I do, but I do love the idea of getting some woodworking in. I don't have any projects that need happening. I'd have to see if my folks had anything they want me to do, and then maybe do that. But I think our next craft project outside of building is I expect to be here at the end of October, so expect a another what do you call it? Did I put this on wrong? I did put this on wrong. Hell yeah, I put this on wrong. Oops, oops. Expect another pumpkin carving stream. I think I'll do that. I've also thought about maybe doing a cooking stream, like setting up my laptop and webcams in the kitchen and maybe doing some cooking. Uh, haven't like really like put any like actual plans together on doing that. Um, I don't know, the lighting would be great in there. It's pretty okay. It's just um, we don't have like an island, so I don't know where I would. I'd have to like do it kind of like sideways and like turn to my left, and that's where that is because we have an area. I could make a kitchen stream work. I just don't think I will. Um, but mostly I'm thinking about doing carving. My dad got me a concrete level drill and did not understand why that is not great. Yeah, Mr. Bob, that feels like a tool that you're not going to get a lot of use out of. Whereas other drills, you definitely could. Okay. We are working on the chest unit, folks. Got to get the chest unit together here. So we're going to get B6 here. Our chest. Let's get that together. Softwood. Yeah. Yeah, that's not what you wanted. But it's the thought that counts. Sometimes. Sometimes it's the thought that counts. But yeah, well, I'm definitely going to be doing a stream that focuses on carving pumpkins because I have a lot of fun doing that. Oops, I almost trimmed off the wrong piece here. I got to be really careful. There's a little tiny piece. I'm just actually going to snip this off the post and then do it. But yeah, so these components, there's a piece here, and I almost took off something I shouldn't have in order to get at it. There, I got it. That's going to be a little out of whack, but it should work out okay. Not too worried about it. But yeah, working on the chest unit here, so let's get some pieces here. This kit has been lovely so far. It's occasionally some odd components, but for the most part, this has been a cool kit. I have not worked on a real grade in quite some time. I think it might be the first real grade I worked on this year, so I'm going to keep trying to use it until one of us dies, but it's too much torque for everything I do. Yeah, I mean, it's not designed for what you're using it for. It's designed for bigger projects, probably. But yeah, I haven't worked on a real grade, I don't think, at all this year, so I'm happy to do that. If folks have any questions about that, I know that every once in a while some people are like, what's a real grade? I don't know what that is. I've only heard of high grades and master grades. Feel free to ask questions. Basically, this is the 144 scale that you would commonly find with a high grade, but it has the detailings more akin to a master grade. So it's got some gimmicks and some pretty unique components. This was this 2017? This is a 2017 kit. I think the booklets are these are probably the best books you're going to find as far as instructions. And yeah, you end up with a pretty detailed kit. Some of the very early real grades turned out weren't the best. They were still figuring it out, but modern ones have pretty much nailed it. You can attach D14 here too. The part where the slide mechanism will cockpit using interchangeable parts. Okay. All right. It's basically like, hey, you can put the chair in the cockpit in different places if you want, which is kind of neat. So you can put it on the left or right side, which is a neat little trick. So yeah, you can basically decide where you want the cockpit on there. And that is a neat thing that they offered, a neat option. But yeah, I haven't done any real woodworking in quite some time. I haven't, like, one of the things about not working at a theater right now is I haven't had to, like, make things happen. I haven't had to, like, work with gaff tape. I haven't had to, like, it's like, well, we don't have a way to do that, so I guess I'm going to have to make a way to do that. Like, I don't think I'm going to slow down on any of these things, but I am next time I'm in a tech booth at a theater, I am going to feel very rusty. I can tell you that for sure. I haven't been putting together playlists for like music to play when people come in and out of places. I haven't done that since March. And just like there's been no need to do that, so I haven't been doing that. So like I'm trying to keep up with music here and there, but for the most part it's like, well, just, listen to stuff when I can. And hopefully I'll find some cool tunes here and there. But, who knows? Who knows next time I'm going to be in working in a theater, so. Okay. 112. When you get a feel for the craft, it sucks the feeling going away. Yeah, I mean that's the thing, right? Like it's just an odd thing. Like it's inherent in me, the muscle memory, but the timing is gonna be bad. Like I'll still be able to call a blackout for an improv set, but it's gonna feel weird if I've got to do like cues for a show. Like I'm gonna feel odd. Aristophan says, greetings from the Fire Coast. Well, greetings to you, Aristophan. I hope you're doing all right. Obviously, things are fucked, and yeah, I can just hope that that you're doing the best you can, given the current situation. Because things is fucked. All right, this is not really telling me where this goes. It folds down, so it goes like this. I was just saying how this was a great booklet, and then it was like, do this thing. I'm like, well, how do you want me to? That and go there. All right. Hamato is now following. Thank you very much, Em. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. But yeah, Wristvan, I hope you're doing all right, and good luck to you, of course. I hope this all works out for you out there, and you're safe. But yeah, it's a real fucking nightmare. Those photos, people like to throw around the apocalypse, but some of that shit looks spooky as hell. Some of the West Coast, we are fine. We have a big river between us and the fire, but it's very smoky. Yeah, I mean, just like that hue out there is real, just scary. So I'm glad you're all right. Yeah, it's real fucked. A lot of a lot of my friends on the West Coast are going through a lot. I mean, they were already look. Obviously, as we all know, they were already going through a lot, and then we're adding in this, and it's just like, holy shit. That's just a new extra wrinkle of oddness in already a really weird time. People are just trying to do their best in, and you add in fires and smoke and high temperatures because it's not like it's cool. They're like, close your windows. Person who doesn't have air conditioning because you live in a part of the state that doesn't ever need it, that needs air conditioning like 2 times a year. But it's 100 something degrees, so close all your windows because otherwise there's just going to be soot everywhere. And the air quality is awful. So, fucking yikes. All right, we figured that out. This is going to raise and lower. This is a pretty detailed chess piece here, so we're just figuring it out as we go. That'll look all right. Yeah. All right. Moving on. All right, now we can put the back plate on, so let's do that. Distance learning meant no snow days, but now school is closed tomorrow due to fires. A risk fan, that is a really weird trade-off. That's a very strange trade-off. It's like, hey, there's no school tomorrow because of fire. Which is weird. We will take a pause for the cause in a moment or two. I'm going to try to finish off at least more of this chest unit here. Is it the right piece? Was that L7? No, that was L10. We'll get to that in a minute. That's the backpack unit. I took it off and I was like, this is wrong. This is the wrong size. That's a Zaku II backpack. Put the back plate on here. Hell yeah. I got some anime to talk about in the second hour. Don't you fucking worry if you're like, Pat, did you watch the 3 anime that you watch on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday? 2 of which come out on Tuesday, 1 that comes out on Wednesday? You bet I did. Even though you're a little nervous because there's only supposed to be 3 episodes left of one of those shows, and it felt like episode 9 kind of ended the season. And you're like, how did they do a Fallout for 3 episodes? Oh, they introduced a new weird thing? Cool. Yeah, we'll talk about that. That was interesting. All right. This back plate is not popping on right the way I would like it to, so we're going to see if I can figure out why. But this is not flush, and it should be. These things should pop in, so we're going to take a second here, kind of look at this. I did some biking today in my garage. I've got the stationary bike adapter, so I've been doing that still, and that's not fun. Oh, I said this the other day, and I stand by it. Yard work. I don't recommend it. Mowing the lawn, don't recommend it, folks. It got a little cooler for a couple days there, but it's still humid and hot, and also the mosquitoes are just hanging out here in South Carolina. They're just hanging out, doing their thing, and part of their thing is biting me even though I put on bug spray because I maybe sweat through the bug spray, I guess. I'm going to have to reapply, I think. But they're still coming at me. And they'll get you through clothes. It's not just your exposed skin. Just like, oh, they got my back. Damn. Fuck you. Alright, I don't know. This isn't flush, but maybe it's not supposed to be. It's also possible. I'll figure this out. We're going to move on. I'm going to try one more time. And if it doesn't work, then we'll move on and see if we can get it later. It might snap together. But it also might not be flush. Might not supposed to be flush. We'll find out as we put on the sides. We're going to do A's. We're going to put some A's on here. Let's do that. But yeah, I don't recommend lawn maintenance. Forget it. It's just hot in the grass. And you're just sweating. You got to move that machine around. Just like, forget it. Not a fan. It's the thing I didn't miss about moving. The two things that when I moved to New York, the things I did not miss from living in Connecticut so many years of my life were mowing and shoveling. When I finally settled in Williamsburg, when I lived in Brooklyn, I had there were a couple steps up to the apartment, and sometimes late at night I would get home from comedy stuff and I would shovel a little bit just to kind of help out my landlord. But that was just like a couple steps, and it didn't matter, and it wasn't hard. So I would do it without it being a problem. Because it would just be like, oh, there would be less for him to shovel when my landlord wakes up. That's good. It'll just be nice. Do that. But I didn't have to do like a driveway and a long walk or anything like that, which I used to have to do in Connecticut, and just forget that shit. Never want to do that again. All right, well. This is just not going in the way it should be. And it's pissing me off. Sorry. Sometimes a thing doesn't work right, and it just frustrates me. There. All right, that's snapped into place. Good, we got it. Took extra effort, but we got it. We still got more things to put on there. We'll take a pause for the cause in a moment or two. Talk about ways you can support the channel if that's something you want to do. You're under no obligation to do that, but you can if you want to. That's how that works. But let me snip out a couple parts, and then we'll start snapping stuff together. That's not what I need. I need this piece. Booyah. I've been saying booyah now and again. I'm going to try not to say that much anymore. I don't know why I'm saying booyah, but I am. I don't need to be saying that. That doesn't make any sense. Do you know why I was saying it? Because I was watching some Teen Titans. I was watching some old school Teen Titans. So I was hearing some booyahs from our friend Cyborg. That's right. Watching some of that. It's good. Teen Titans. It's still good. I was gonna say, cool beans. Thanks, Everest fan. Yeah. I got here. So I've been trying to find more things to watch because there's just so many hours in the day now where I'm not doing things, and I need more YouTube videos to watch because I can only rewatch anime so often. That's not true. I can definitely rewatch more old anime, but I've just been trying to find some YouTube rabbit holes to fall into, and I found one, and I don't know why. I think I know why I'm watching them because they're all very short, and just when you finish one, you're like, I guess I'll watch another one. I've been watching The Lockpicking Lawyer, and I don't give any kind of fucks about lockpicks and if they're good or bad or if they're easy or hard to pick. Like, I could not care less about that at all. I guess I'm kind of interested in when he does it well. He's like, oh, look, watch me very quickly jimmy this open with this thing. And I'm like, I don't think I care at all that you did well on that lock you bought from Amazon from a company in China that didn't mill properly. I'm just like, I don't think I care about this, but I'm still fucking watching it. I haven't stopped watching it. I've been getting into Unraveled a bit. Okay, yeah, Unraveled, that's a good series. Um, I don't know. I'm just like, need stuff. And there's a lot of those videos, but they're all very short. So it's just like over. And then it's like, well, it's recommended me another one by this person. I guess I'll watch that too. It's Lockpicking Lawyer. Okay. Oh, this portable safe. I bet that's terrible. Yep, it is. Okay. I don't know. I'm negative on it because I'm like, why am I watching this? That's mostly why I'm like that. All right, I'm going to finish this part of the chess piece up, and then we'll move on to the other part of the stream, the pause of the cause, and then the other part of the stream, talking about anime and other stuff. Ooh, that's cool. All right, so here's the. I'll get my sponger out here to show this part. So, you've got your chess piece here, right? And you've got here. This is the chest, and then this can raise up, and you can have your cockpit in there. That's the cockpit, and it looks like it's one piece. It looks like this is the same plastic, but it's not. That's a neat little trick, neat little feature in that part of the kit. And these are going to go on, and then going to put some other parts in there. But that is cool. I enjoy seeing the bizarre locks. Yeah, Lashbrook, those aren't bad. The locks are neat. You're not wrong about that. Okay. Hi. This is the Baer Workshop. This is a small section of the stream right now where I'm going to talk about ways you can support what I do here. Again, I say this every week. I actually honestly mean it. You are under no obligation. I do not mind if you never support the channel in any way, shape, or form other than watching it. If you just want to watch, you don't even have to chat. You can just hang out. I really appreciate the people that hang out, that like the streams. And if you want to support what I do here, that's awesome. And I always appreciate it. First and foremost here, yeah, you like to watch. I appreciate that. Feel free to watch what I'm doing here. If you just want to have this on, you don't feel like chatting, you don't feel like engaging, you don't have to. There are ways to support the channel, and I'm going to talk about those. Harold just cheered 15 bits. Thank you very much, Harold. I appreciate that. But yeah, throw in the emotes in there if you're a subscriber. You could be a subscriber here because I'm an affiliate. Have a great night, Harold. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for stopping in. Always appreciate it. And, of course, thanks for the bits. You can become a subscriber using Cash Money, or you could become a subscriber via just your Twitch, or sorry, your Prime Gaming. If you link your Amazon Prime with Twitch, you get Prime Gaming, and you get the token you can use, or you can use Cash Money. I have other ways of doing that. You don't have to do that. You can also gift a sub. We had Bobby Dice Roll gifted, or Dice Roller, I should say, gifted 10 subs this month. That's incredible. And Silver Street gifted 2. That's lovely. Bits and coins, like Harold did, that's also another way within the Twitch system to support what I do. Now, if $5 a month, that's too much for your blood, I understand. Or if you're like, I wish I could do more, but Tier 2 doesn't really get me anything. Well, I have a Patreon. You can join my Patreon if you want to. Patreon.com/PatBear. There's a $1, a $3, a $5, and a $10 tier. We will get back to building soon. I'm going to go through these pretty quickly. I only take one break a stream to talk about this stuff, and that's what I'm doing today. That is another way to support the channel, is through that. You could also do direct through my Coffee, my Streamlabs, or my PayPal. Go that route if you want to do a one-time. And any money that I make through any mini I make through Patreon, Twitch, direct links during the streams goes to me buying kits and equipment. I haven't needed equipment in a while, outside of the light that I got here. That costs some money, but other than that, everything else has been through just people buying model kits, sending me some cash so that I can get more kits to keep building. This kit was bought off my Amazon wish list. I have an Amazon wish list. So thank you to Aristophan for picking that up off the wish list. And I have other things on there. Oops, I forgot the exclamation point. Oh, Jam just subscribed with Prime. That's 33 months. Thank you so much. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego the Scythe emote into chat. And thank Jam. I keep messing up this thing, but Jam, thank you so much for doing that. 33 months is a long time. Thanks for being such a long-time supporter. I appreciate that very much. I have an Amazon wish list, as I said. I did it right. If you're watching this later on YouTube, click a link in the show description below. Thanks for watching on YouTube, though. But yeah, you could buy something of that, and I'll build it. I've got some Lego sets in here. I've got some high-grade kits, some master-grade kits, a few other odds and ends, some real grades, some really beautiful-looking kits, some things that are very expensive, and some that are very inexpensive. And I try to mix those up and have a variety. If you buy something from my wish list, I'll build it before I build anything else. That's my promise to you. I have things. I have high grades and master grades and a Lego set. Oh, Brozar just cheered 100. Thank you so much for the cheer. I appreciate that very much. Thank you for that support. I also have another way to support if you wanted to and you didn't want to use Amazon. You could get me a gift card to USA Gundam Store. Can't do the wish list for that, unfortunately, but you can buy a gift card and then you could send me a DM on Twitter because my DMs are open and be like, hey, here's a gift card code that I got in my email, and then I'll buy something of that, and that would also skip the line. So it's like using the Amazon thing, but you can avoid that if that's something that you care about. I have a Discord. You could join my Discord if you wanted to. I post photos at the end of every build stream. I'll link all my videos in there, which I'm about to share a few more. We're going to get back to building in just a second here. I just want to check real quick key. Okay. Cool. I got 6,969 followers today. I'm already up to 6,971. So I hit the double nice, and then I went beyond the double nice. And that's okay. Also, I was going to call out the 70th, the 6,970 person, but it turned out to be like someone that's pretty rad. And I was like, I don't even want to jokingly call this person out. I wasn't actually going to call them out. It was going to be a joke. But I was like, I don't even want to jokingly call them out. Nice indeed. Okay, so I'm just going to put one link in here. Baering the List is a weekly series I do. I use TierMaker to compile lists. Yesterday, I did one on pets, the different kinds of pets you can have, different animals that you might have as pets, and I ranked them. And so people have differing opinions to mine, and that's okay. The people that like snakes haven't found it yet, which is good, because I don't like them. I made that very clear, and I'm waiting to find out. The people who like birds get it, though. They understand why I don't like birds. Birds aren't great pets. Birds are great. They're just not great pets. Because they shouldn't be pets. Indoor birds are a mistake. It's just, you know what? But again, that's just my opinion. All right, we're going to get back to building. And I'm going to talk about anime that came out since the last time I streamed. We'll talk about over there. Snakes are also like pet birds. Yeah, I mean, to me, it's just like, look, to have a snake is to feed it live other pets. And that, to me, is just a thing that, like, I don't know, man. You get a dog, you get dog food. It's not alive. You're not feeding it live prey. I don't know. I have friends who have snakes. I hope they don't watch the video and find out my opinions on their friends. But fucking no thanks. All right. So we're going to talk about 3 anime shows. Black Clover, Diary of Our Days at the Breakwater, and DECA-DENCE. And we're going to keep working on this kit as I talk about these anime. So all new episodes of these 3 shows. Black Clover. Hey, uh, we got a multi-part episode here in our filler arc. This has been a filler arc leading into the next thing. It has been highs and lows. Some of this arc has been pretty solid. Explorations of some characters, maybe filling out a little backstory here and there. This episode, it's one of those things where like, it is sympathetic villains. Like we're supposed to be mad at them because they are, they're look. Let's just say it. They kidnap a child, so they're fuckers. But also, they were told to blame people. Basically, if you don't remember Black Clover stuff that happened was, some elves were tricked by a devil, not the devil. A devil tricked some elves into enacting revenge, which was really just a way for this devil to be reincarnated on the planet and come back. So it was all bad. It was all the devil's fault. But anyway, these elves manipulated a bunch of magic knights, and they couldn't say, like, all the magic knights that were taken over by elves are okay. Like, and we can't blame all of them. So they blamed one magic knight, our main character. And they blamed the only person who wasn't a magic knight that was taken over was the sister, Marie, of one of the magic knights. So they also were like, well, she's definitely influenced by the devil, because she can't be like, all these other magic knights, including captains, were also influenced. Like, they can't do that shit because of politics. So they blamed this little girl, which sucks. Anyway, people are looking for revenge because the elves were defeated. So they lost family. Some people lost everything. They were hurt, or loved ones were killed. So there's some people looking for revenge. Now they call themselves Devil Banishers, which is a terrible name. It is a bad name. If you are going to banish some devils, it's just a bad name. It's like, oh, that's bad. Also, there's a weird thing in this episode where they kidnapped Sekre. Now, Sekre, what we knew as Nero, the bird, for a long time, turns out that she was like imprisoned as a bird and lived for a long time as a bird, and she can transform back and forth between the two, which is cool. But they were calling her Nero throughout the whole episode, and I'm like, did the animation team fuck this up? Was there an episode where she was like, hey, call me Nero? Thank you for being here. Thanks so much, Ham. Have a great one. I don't know. It was a weird time. It was a weird part of the episode where they were calling her Nero the whole time instead of her name, because they know her name. I was like, did I forget an episode where she was like, call me? Keep calling me by the name you called me as the bird that I was. I don't know. It was weird. It's a weird little thing. But I do like this as a two-parter because every single episode in this arc so far has been a one-and-done filler thing. It's just been like, it's all been very clean and neat. So this one has not been. And that's kind of interesting. And we'll see what comes of it. Because it's like, these people need something they want revenge, and they don't know how else to get it, and they're like, so it's understandable. It's an understandable thing. They also, some of them most likely felt powerless, that they weren't able to save their loved ones or do anything, and then their revenge was taken away. So now they're like looking to scapegoat some people. It just so happens that they're scapegoating the main character of the anime. So good fucking luck. I don't know. It's weird. It was a weird episode. It was different from the other filler. So that was kind of interesting. Overall, still iffy about these Black Clover episodes. Uh, like some of them were cool and some of them were not cool. All right, let's move on to Diary of Our Days at the Breakwater. If you're not watching this show, I have to assume it's because you don't like, well, two reasons. One reason, you don't have Funimation. And the other reason is that you don't like chill, fun anime. This episode was chill and fun. It was a great goddamn episode of a cool anime. This is an anime about a high school club that is fishing, particularly fishing, sea fishing at the Breakwater. And the club is talking about where they might do next. They talk about maybe catching some sea bass. Hina, who is she's the new girl on the squad, and is still scared of shit. Thinks that might be too much for her because sea bass are big. But they're going to fish for horse mackerel, which we've seen them before. They refer to the horse mackerel they catch, the small ones, as little horsies, and I think "lil" horsies is just great, and I can't get enough of seeing that subtitled. It's just fun. They're gonna fish reedless with bobbers, which is a different way. Reelless, not reedless, reelless. So basically, they're gonna have long poles that bend a lot and don't have any reel, and it's a different way to fish. They use a long pole, and we learn about wrassel, which are small fish with tiny little mouths, and there's a blackfish and a sea bream and a puffer fish, and we're like kind of seeing a bunch of different fish, hanging out and doing their thing. And turns out Hina really likes fishing this way. And then there's a big, huge horse mackerel they catch later. And that's fun. And they do another cooking segment. One of my favorite dumb gags in the show is Hina and Ono's cooking segment. And Ono shows how to prepare sashimi and fillets. And they're going to eat the next day. And then Sayaka, their advisor, shows up with a lot of drinks. And here's the thing I didn't know. So the advisor, we've talked about this before. It is one of my least favorite things in anime is the capable advisor who is also a lush, because that's the only bad part about Laid Back Camp is that the teacher, who's only in a couple episodes anyway, is just has a drinking issue and is in charge of kids, and that's weird. And I don't love the nurse who likes to drink off hours and get free cooked up fish snacks from her students that she's a club advisor of. I don't love that part of the story. It's probably my least favorite part of this one. Well, we learn she brings a homemade smoker that she uses for her animal meats because she's also a hunter, which is a weird thing. She's like, next time I go hunting, I'll bring you some jerky that I make. And they're like, wait, what? And even they are like, this is a lot of information to take in. I need a minute, which is true. If I did not expect at any point that this nurse was also going to be a hunter. And that's her hobby. What the fuck? Oh yeah, one little thing about this episode that was neat was they were eating all this food, or the fish they cooked up on their day off. So they weren't wearing their school uniforms, and it was just a little different, and that was just neat. It wasn't super anything big, but it was kind of cute. And this was just a cute little episode. I thought it was overall fun. This show rules. If you are looking for a chill anime, as I said, this is the slice of life of the season. I'm not watching the big romantic comedy. I'm watching one of the two romantic comedies of the season because I think that Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out is good, and I don't think that Rent-A-Girlfriend show I have any interest in. Nobody I know is watching it, so I did not watch that. That's the other romantic-ish comedy of the season. But yeah, as far as chill slice of life go, this is it. This is your slice of life, and it's real good. So I hope you listen to my recommendation if you're looking for a fun little show. If you want to learn about fishing, or just have a good time, get hungry for crustaceans being cooked up, it's pretty damn good. Uh, and then we just have one more episode, our episode of Decadence. Um, my biggest complaint about Decadence has been that it was sold to me as being way more about Natsume, the main girl in the show, than we actually got. The story is actually way more about Kabu, her boss with a secret past and present, a bunch of secrets, because he's a cyborg and he knows that Natsume and everyone she knows are living in a fantasy that was created, a big game that was created. But she now knows that everything's fucked. They shut down the Gadol factory, and Kabu told Natsume about what's going on and kind of reveals even more of that. And she passes out because, of course, she does. Imagine finding out that everything you thought you knew was, in reality, a game for cyborgs to play. That this race of people, these warrior people that you have come to know and admire, are cyborg bodies that little robots download their essence into, and that these monsters that have killed people you know, because they are real monsters, are created inside this dome. They're artificial creatures. They didn't destroy the world. Humanity destroyed the world, and then this company that the cyborgs work for, basically bought what's left of humanity and created this whole ecosystem around entertainment. Decadence is not the last bastion of humanity. It is the pen it is a zoo and a playground. So imagine learning all of that, and that you've been lied to by everybody, including your boss, who you just risked your life to help. So she passes out. Cyborgs are freaking out. The human tankers and the gears see the Gaddles disintegrating. The factory is a complete mess. Natsume wakes up in the Jeep Kabu's driving. And then we get a big old reveal. A huge reveal is told. We knew that Natsume's dad died in a Gaddle attack. We didn't know that it was planned. We thought it was just a random occurrence because, like, they were out and then there was an attack. Maybe I would have put that together. I would have made that assumption, but I didn't. Is that he was starting to uncover some stuff, and then he was killed. So that was no accident, which I didn't. Yeah, I guess I could have pieced together, but I didn't piece together. And that's fuck. And then Hugin is trying to find Hugin, who is the bad guy, the main villain of the piece, really, the head of security. He's trying to track down Natsume. And then also, hey, not all the Gadol are gone, because one of the Gadol, before it died, put some sort of DNA inside of one of the gears, and now it's a giant Gadol by the end, and I didn't see that coming, because this is episode 10, and episode 9, the end of episode 9, they quote-unquote won, so I was like, what are they going to do now? And what they're going to do now is face the threat of a giant Gadol that they have no control over, and is not planned. That is what they're going to do, I guess. And that's fucking weird. And then also, Kabu is attacked by Hugin, and Natsume is probably going to get attacked by him, but maybe this Gadol will delay that, I assume. I don't know. There's 2 more episodes left, so who knows? That show is just completely continues to surprise me. I think it's really just a quality show. As I said, I was not. I was expecting more of it to be about her and less to be about him, and so I feel a little bummed out about that. But I do think it's an interesting story. Lastbrook says, sorry, let me just put this here, and I'm going to read what Lastbrook said in just a second. Lastbrook says, I'm still reading. Oh, I missed this follow from a while ago, I think. So thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. I don't know if I said that. I may have, but I don't know if I did. But thank you for the follow. Still reading DBZ, and the first Super Saiyan transformation is kind of underwhelming. Something that the anime, having to stretch for time, really improves. I mean, you may remember this. There's an episode of Dragon Ball that is like next time in Dragon Ball Z, the legendary Super Saiyan. And that's how the show ended before new episodes came out. That was where the order ended. So people were like, for a long time, were like, what's a Super Saiyan? And in reality, he doesn't go Super Saiyan in that next episode. But it built this like tension among the people that were watching it that hadn't read the manga. And were like, what's a Super Saiyan? What does that mean? This sounds rad as hell. What's about to happen? And then it took a while longer to go. But yeah, obviously the build-up is pretty epic. It's pretty incredible when it finally, like, you're like, oh, shit, that's a Super Saiyan. But yes, I do remember the manga being a little underwhelming. All right, so now we're going to build, if you watched previous streams, you may remember working on the leg here. We're going to be working on the backpack components here. Got to get these long, slender tubes here and throw in a bunch of little pegs. Well, yeah, we're just going to put a bunch of these on, and we do have to cut off the part at the end, which is a pretty neat thing. So we're going to snap this off. We're going to assemble it and then cut off the excess. But having this excess will make it easier for us to put this part on. So they're like, keep the excess until you don't need it, which is kind of a neat thing. There are a few like extra, just like quote unquote extra parts here and there. That's kind of odd. But yeah, we'll be doing that next. 1 and then 4. 3. Remove 4. Remove 6. All right. So we do 4 of F2, 3. They give you a lot of these. A lot of these are extra. We won't need them, which is helpful. And again, just like I did for the legs, I am just removing them. I'm not snipping them. I'm just rolling them. I could sand these down if I really wanted to get in there detailed, but I'm not going to worry about that. Push them all the way down. We're going to start with 4 of these. And we're just rolling them in. So this is going to be a future, I'll give you a peek behind the curtain of Pat Bear's Anime Club. The next Pat Bear's Anime Club is going to be the panel that I'm doing on Sunday. Will then go up on Monday. And then the next video after that will be my end of the season like review of stuff, which will be I'll record live, so we'll have back-to-back of that. But a future Pat Bear's Anime Club is going to be, I haven't come up with the exact name of it right now, but I think the name of it's going to be I Was Wrong. And it will be the first in a series of me looking at things that I thought, like a show that I initially didn't watch because I didn't think it was for me or interesting, and it turns out I really like it. and I'm going to do I'm going to do two videos for that, or two shows for that. Haikyuu and ReZero. These are both shows that initially I was like, that's not for me, and then turns out, oh, this is very much for me. I'm actually surprised. I bounced off ReZero, I think, because I wasn't in the mood for a main character in Isekai that was like shitty, not shitty personality, but like not capable. I was looking for overpowered, like the kind of overpowered main character what maybe didn't have power in his world and suddenly does have power in this one, kind of a show. And ReZero isn't that. It takes a while for him to understand what his abilities are and take advantage of his weird gift, because it's a curse. It's literally a curse, not just a figurative one. It is an actual legitimate curse that he's cursed. So it is an odd thing to go from that to like Subaru finding his powers in his worth. It is an odd thing. It's an odd show. All right, so there's a little line here, which you're not going to be able to see, but we're going to be clipping where that line is. And this part was just basically to make it easier to get these beads on, which is an odd thing. And then we'll do the other part of it second. Yeah. So that's going to be one of the two video sections that I do. Oh, it wants me to do stickers before it says start applying stickers first. It's like, well, then why did you have me build this? Why don't you have me do the stickers first? I'll do the stickers now. But yeah, that's going to be upcoming Pet Bear's Anime Club. Just looking at a couple shows that I should have given a should have liked, and especially with Haikyuu. Haikyuu is so up my alley. I've said this before, that I claim to not like sports anime, and that it turns out I fucking really do like sports anime. Those stickers are so tiny. These are so tiny. I'm not going to worry about them. These are very tiny, and you will not see them on the kit, so I am not going to worry about applying them. I don't care. Don't care. Just apply this here. But yeah, Haikyuu is really good. We're getting close to the next part of the season coming back, so very looking forward to that. Shit. This wire just broke here. Oh, that's real bad. This piece just broke as I was applying it, so we will have to move on to the other. We're going to do the other side of this, and because I'm going to have to I'm going to have to adhere these two pieces back together. Actually, I can do that now, because I can compare and contrast these two parts while I do it. So hold on one second. I'm going to step away to go and get my glue, or my liquid cement, I should say. But yeah, we did have an accident here. Does it not come with a spare? No, this does not come with a spare, unfortunately. These parts. So this is the other side piece that we will be doing. There is some extra wire, but it's not, there extra plastic, but it's not this bent part here. I'll just be really careful with it. So, unfortunately, we did have that, but we can hopefully reattach it safely, and we'll just use this other one as the guide for how it looks. So this is like, it ends up here, and then this part bends here. We can match it like that, and then hopefully we can adhere the two parts together. We can see that this looks like that, and then trying to make sure that I can do this right. This part's going to go in here. That. And then this goes and attaches here, and then rides to the middle. Okay. Just going to put all these beads in here. Because once I do this, I don't want to pull the part out. I just want to adhere them together. Do that. And I'm very annoyed that this fell apart like this. This is not cool. And I'm just going to do one less bead than I normally would so that I can attach these two parts. But yeah. This just definitely broke, and that sucks. So I'm just going to do one less bead than normal. And then put some of this is liquid cement. This is used in model kits that are not snap kits to adhere plastic together. Since it's snapped, it already is pretty rough. And then I will just basically put these together and hold them together. And then the liquid cement is basically melting the top layer of the plastic, and then you use pressure to put the two pieces together, and that will theoretically mean that they adhere and hold. Now, if this doesn't work, what I can do is I can do it after the fact. Once I've assembled all together with the chest piece, I can line it up how I would like, and it might actually line up and look all right. If this part doesn't work, I can always try to do it after the fact, because this isn't wire, it's plastic. So if this doesn't hold, yep, it did not hold. It did not hold. All right, so what we'll do is we will try to, because what it's going to do is eventually it's going to do this. It's going to go from here. The front part is going to go in on this side. And so we'll see if, yeah, we can just do that. Line it up when we attach the two parts together. And hope for the best. Whoop. Lord Stockton just subscribed. Thank you so much for the 10 months. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego Scythe emote in the chat. Thank Lord Stockton. Hi, Lord Stockton. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, if you're a subscriber, let's throw the emotes in there. Thank Lord Stockton for renewing. Thank you very much for doing that. Appreciate it. That's rad. But yeah, all right. So yeah, we're just trying to, we did break that little part, but we can hopefully work around it. We're just going to put our beads on here right now, and we will try to assemble this as best we can. Yeah, this is I would classify this as unfortunate. But the hope is that when we assemble the two parts together, this will just line up and look good. So let's do the same thing on the other side that we're doing there. But we can always maybe glue it or use it apply some liquid cement when we are done with this. But I think it'll look all right. We can fudge it to make it look okay. It's been a while since I had to do that. It happens now and again. It's an unfortunate part of the process. Sometimes you just fuck up. All right, so got to do 4 of F29, which is this one here. Again, I'm just going to roll these out into my hand, and we'll apply them through here. And then when I do stick this in there, I'm just going to, in the back, I'm just going to try to do it as cleanly as possible and as quickly as possible. All right. And then we need 6 from F10 here. All right. Nice and easy. Nice and slow. Again, my next build stream will be this Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. It will be 9 to 11 this Saturday. We will continue working on this kit. I think we are going to finish things up because we have the head and the weapons to do. My $10 patrons have a poll that they're voting on right now about what I build next, either a Lego set or a high grade. The GM Command, GM Guard. It's the one with the giant, just so big shield, or a cool 3-in-1 little dune buggy, quick little Lego set 3-in-1 build. I think either of those are going to be fun, and I'm happy to do either. But my $10 patrons are going to vote on that because we're going to finish the chest here basically, and then we have to do the head and then the weapons. And I think it'll be a lot of the stream, but it won't be all of Saturday's stream. So that's the next thing coming up. Well, we're going to try to finish the chest on this stream. Okay. These on here. Come on. Come on. All right. One more, and then we gotta snap off the excess. Which is over here. Snap off that excess, and then damn beads. Ugh. Damn beads. I'll get this other one going here. I'm going to get this together and get these in on this side, so at least we got one side done and looking okay. And then we'll work on getting the other side done and looking okay. Come on. There's always something about a real grade that is really annoying. And it looks like this one is just this assembly. This assembly is the annoying thing. There's always something with a real grade that I'm like, oh, they did a great job except for this part. And it's literally this. But you want the hoses to be there. It's a Zaku. You want a head hose, you want a the chest hose thing. You want the leg hoses. Like, that is an integral, weird part of this kit. Makes it a Zaku. It's not a Zaku 2 without him. Okay. So that is assembled. So we can get this lined up right. Oh boy. Okay. So that's in. We got one of these in and looking good. Now let's see if we can get the other one in and looking good. Just fun way to end a stream. Things don't go weird at the beginning of a stream. It's the end of the stream where things get a little touch and go. A little sloppy feeling. Where you're like, oh, shit. This is not what I wanted. This is not going smoothly. But that's why if the Lego set wins, I won't mind it. After a real grade, doing a Lego set wouldn't be too bad. It's a nice change of pace, maybe. Okay. Oops. Ah, beads are coming off. We're going to get it, folks. Don't worry. And then, also at the end of the stream, we are going to go and raid because that's how we end streams around here. As we go and raid and find someone fun we know doing something, and we go see what they're up to. And spread the love with some positivity and some good times. Because that's how we end streams around here. So that'll be in a couple minutes. I do want to try to finish this up. Got like 2 more pieces of snap to set out as soon as I finish this part here. Alright. Just do this like this. Oops. Oops. I'm not doing this way you should, but obviously, because of the break we had here in this. Just trying to add a few more of these beads back in so that it doesn't look broken. It doesn't look like I fucked up. It looks like this is how it's supposed to be. So I want to put at least a few more of these on here. You know, we can always call it battle damage. That is a thing you can do in model kits is, you know, if it really gets messed up, you mess it up just a little bit more and you call it battle damage. Oh yeah, that went through a battle and it got its chest hose got disconnected. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. It wasn't user error at all. Alright, so that looks alright. What we'll do is we'll just dab a little of the old liquid cement on here. Just to see if that will kind of hold it together. And then we will move on to working on the next part. We're just going to finish up the chest here and then we'll be done today. So just going to work on okay. All right, let's get this last two pieces on, and then we will call it a stream in a moment or two. Thanks for sticking with that awkwardness. 2 8 pieces here. 27 and 12. 27. And 12. Okay. This looks like this. This goes like that. Oh, that's supposed to. This was supposed to go on first, so I even fucked that part up. I'm doing great. Alright, so this goes on the front like this. And then these go in. Alright. That looks alright. And then this goes on like this. And this goes on like this. And then we are almost body complete. We have to do the head. Hey, when's the last time you saw a model kit that just the head was the last thing you built? Like even after the backpack. That's just an odd thing. It's neat though. But yeah, we got our headless Zaku II now. We had to do a little repair there, but that worked out all right. We will continue on with the headpiece in the next stream. So let's go and find somebody to go and raid. We'll go check out somebody that we want to go see what they're up to, and we'll go give them some support. Thanks to everybody that decided to hang out. Feel free to come along on this raid. You again, not obligated to do so, but we're gonna go. My friend Joe Kim is playing a game called Among Us, and we are gonna go check that out. I will admit to not really knowing what that is, but there's an ad break playing right now, and once that ad break is playing, we will go and oh, actually, he's hosting somebody, so we're not going to do that. I didn't realize that he just started hosting somebody, so we're not going to go and raid Joe Kim because I don't know who he's hosting. All right. My friend Kevin is playing Shin Megami Tensei Persona 3. He's playing Persona 3, so we're going to go raid Kevin. Jeez. I guess we just missed Joe, but we're going to go raid my friend Kevin. He's rad. I hope you come for that raid. Sorry about that. But yeah, he's playing Persona. And I played Fez a long time ago, but it's been a while. So hopefully you'll come on that. Again, my next stream is on Saturday. Thanks for hanging out. Saturday, 9 p.m. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you can come and hang out for this. Thanks so much for being here. Have a great night. Good night. Feel free to come along on the stream or on our raid. And if not, I'll see you on Saturday. And have a good one. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye, everybody.